Earth had changed. Cities once full of life now carried an air of tension. Huge screens in public squares displayed messages from the Galactic Council, reminding humans of their place in the galaxy. Colonies on the Moon and Mars, once symbols of human progress, now existed under strict alien oversight. Their inhabitants worked tirelessly, following rules made by beings who saw humans as inferior. For centuries, humanity had endured insults, demands, and attacks. The Council, a powerful coalition of alien species, controlled trade routes, monitored communications, and often punished Earth for minor infractions. But on this particular morning, something different hung in the air. Something raw. In New Delhi, Dr. Amina Rao adjusted her glasses, staring at her lab screen. Thousands of calculations scrolled past as she analyzed satellite data. Something was happening. Signals from alien reconnaissance ships suggested a massive invasion. The Council planned to take what little remained of Earth's resources and remove any human resistance once and for all. "This is it," she whispered to herself, gripping the edge of her desk. "This is the day they think they can end us." Meanwhile, in Chicago, ordinary citizens went about their lives, unaware of the storm forming above. Children played in narrow streets between towering buildings, and street vendors called out to customers, trying to ignore the ever-present drones hovering silently overhead. But behind closed doors, whispers spread. Secret meetings were happening in basements, warehouses, and hidden colonies. Humans were organizing. The Council believed humans were predictable, confined by fear. They underestimated one simple truth: humans were never truly predictable. In a hidden facility under the Rocky Mountains, leaders from around the world gathered. Presidents, prime ministers, and influential scientists joined together in an unprecedented coalition. They had worked for months, designing advanced defense systems, building fleets in secret, and training soldiers in tactics no alien would expect. Marcus Lynn, a former pilot and now head of Earth's orbital defense forces, stood at the front of the room. His eyes were steady, his expression calm, though inside his mind raced. "The Council thinks they can destroy us easily," he said, his voice carrying authority. "They think we are weak. They think we follow their rules. They are wrong. Today we fight, not just for survival, but for our dignity, for our planet, for every human being who has ever been told they are powerless." A murmur of agreement rippled through the room. The energy was electric. Humans had waited too long. They were ready. In orbit above Earth, the first of the new human ships slipped silently from hidden docks. Sleek black vessels that reflected no light, they were designed to move fast and strike hard. Their technology combined human creativity, scientific ingenuity, and lessons learned from centuries of observing alien ships. They were unpredictable, dangerous, and entirely human. Back on the ground, civilians played their part too. Networks of engineers, hackers, and strategists worked tirelessly. Communication systems had been fortified, hidden caches of supplies prepared, and safe zones established in cities around the globe. Every human, from scientists to farmers, became part of a larger plan. In Tokyo, a young engineer named Keiko Tanaka checked the final systems on a network of energy shields. "If this works," she said to her assistant, "we can protect the city even from their heaviest weapons." Her fingers moved with speed and confidence. She had grown up hearing stories of alien oppression. Now she would fight back. The first Council scout ships arrived without warning. Sleek and terrifying, they moved with precision. Their sensors scanned the planet, seeking signs of resistance. They believed humanity would cower, as they always had before. But the humans had learned patience, observation, and strategy. In orbit, Marcus Lynn watched the blips on his radar. "They're here," he said. "Deploy the drones. Activate the stealth ships. Let's show them they underestimated us." The human fleet moved with coordinated precision, slipping between the alien sensors. Small attacks were launched, carefully timed to avoid direct confrontation but to send a clear message. Humans were not weak. One Council drone ship was disabled within minutes. Then another. The aliens were confused. Their AI predicted human patterns, but humans had abandoned predictability. On Earth, news of the first successes spread quickly. Civilians celebrated quietly, knowing that for the first time in history, humans were fighting back. Secret messages flashed across encrypted networks. "We are ready," but the Council was not easily defeated. They began mobilizing larger fleets, preparing to crush Earth once and for all. Yet even as they coordinated, confusion reigned among their ranks. They had never faced a species that combined intelligence, creativity, and unyielding determination so effectively. Dr. Rao worked feverishly, adjusting calculations and running simulations. "If they push too far," she said, "we can collapse their supply lines. We can turn their strengths against them. But we have to act now." Her voice carried the weight of urgency, yet hope lingered. Humanity had always found a way, even when the odds were impossible. And now, the entire planet was united in purpose. In London, Marcus Lynn's second-in-command, Lieutenant Sarah O'Neill, monitored communications between Earth fleets. "They don't understand us," she said. "They can't predict us, and that is our advantage." Her voice held a mix of awe and excitement. For the first time, humanity had turned the tables. As night fell over the planet, the human network activated fully. Cities, hidden bunkers, and orbital stations all moved in perfect synchronization. Alien scouts, expecting fear and hesitation, found resistance at every turn. Human ships darted unpredictably. Civilian engineers sabotaged supply chains, and soldiers struck with unmatched coordination. The first night of humanity's rebellion ended with shocking results. Several council ships were destroyed or disabled. Human casualties were low, thanks to careful planning and ingenuity. The aliens for the first time realized that Earth would not be easy to conquer. Dr. Rao and Marcus Lynn met briefly in a secure command room. "They think this is a warning," Marcus said. "It is more than that. It is a declaration. Earth has had enough." Dr. Rao nodded, her expression serious but proud. "And they will learn it the hard way." Above Earth, stars twinkled as silent witnesses. The galaxy was about to witness something unprecedented. Humans, underestimated for centuries, had begun to fight back, and this was only the beginning. The day had come. Humanity had reached its breaking point, and now, for the first time, humans would show the universe what it truly meant to fight with heart, mind, and unbreakable will. No one in the galaxy would forget this day. Not the Council, not the allied species, and certainly not humanity. Earth had had enough, and war, unfiltered and unstoppable, was coming. The sun had barely risen when the first true battle began above Earth's atmosphere. Alien fleets, confident in their size and technology, approached the planet like predators ready to devour an easy prey. Their warships glimmered coldly in the black void of space, lined with weapons humans had only seen in simulations. They had come to make an example out of Earth, but humans were ready. In the hidden orbital hangars, the newly built human fleet prepared for engagement. Sleek ships, designed with speed and unpredictability in mind, slipped into formation. Each ship carried weapons that combined human ingenuity with technology stolen and adapted from the aliens over decades. Unlike their enemies, humans did not rely solely on rigid patterns or pre-programmed AI. Every maneuver could change at a moment's notice, and every captain knew the power of improvisation. Captain Marcus Lynn stared at the viewports of his flagship, the Freedom's Edge. His eyes scanned the alien formations, noting their movements, their predictable patterns, and their overconfidence. "Remember," he said to his crew, "they may be bigger, but we are smarter. They may have numbers, but we have creativity, and they will not expect what we are about to do." Dr. Amina Rao monitored the alien ship's energy signatures from the command deck. "Their weapons are precise, but slow to adapt. Our ships are small, fast, and unpredictable. That is our advantage." She adjusted the targeting algorithms, incorporating last-minute adjustments that allowed human drones to strike with uncanny accuracy. The first shots were fired, not by humans, but by the aliens. Beams of energy streaked across space meant to destroy the forward human scouts. The Council's fleet was confident, but human ships, anticipating the attack, twisted and turned in patterns that seemed almost impossible, dodging every strike. Lieutenant Sarah O'Neill, piloting one of the stealth ships, darted between larger warships. "They can't track us," she shouted through comms, excitement in her voice. "Their AI is useless against human unpredictability." Her ship launched a series of micro-drones that infiltrated the alien fleet, disabling energy shields and sabotaging engines. For the first time, the aliens felt hesitation. Ships that had never failed now flickered and wavered. Their commanders, who expected easy victory, began to realize that Earth was not a simple target. Meanwhile, on the ground, humans played their part in the battle. Hidden communication stations relayed real-time data from satellites, helping orbital fleets anticipate alien movements. Engineers and hackers disrupted enemy signals, turning advanced alien tracking systems against them. Civilians in cities around the world activated emergency power grids and energy deflectors that created temporary electromagnetic fields, confusing the incoming attack drones. In Moscow, a group of engineers guided a convoy of drones that silently zipped into orbit, creating decoys that the alien ships mistook for human warships. Each decoy drew fire, allowing real ships to maneuver freely and strike at the enemy. "They're learning the hard way," one engineer said with a grin, eyes fixed on the glowing screens. Marcus Lynn watched as the first Council warship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The blast reflected off nearby vessels, sending a wave of panic through the alien fleet. "Hold the line," he commanded. "Keep moving, keep striking, and never let them think they are in control." In the chaos, humans revealed their true strength, their ability to adapt. Every attack by the aliens was met with an unexpected counter. Ships split and merged, weaving through enemy formations like water flowing around rocks. Microdrones infiltrated vital systems. Orbital cannons fired in patterns designed to confuse, not just destroy. The Council's AI, excellent at following protocols, struggled against the fluid, unpredictable strategies of human pilots. On Mars, Dr. Rao watched the battle unfold through massive holographic displays. Her team had been working on a secret technology, a new type of quantum shield that could absorb and redirect alien energy attacks. When deployed, the shield turned the enemy's strongest beams back upon their own ships, causing catastrophic damage. "It's working," she said. "We've turned their power against them." The aliens had expected fear. They had expected surrender. What they faced instead was fierce determination. For the first time, they were being attacked in ways they could not predict. Every human action, from the pilots in orbit to the engineers on the surface, demonstrated one undeniable truth. Earth would not be conquered. Amid the battle, ordinary humans also made history. In hidden bunkers, teenagers hacked alien communication satellites, rerouting signals to confuse enemy commanders. Farmers used improvised energy pulses to interfere with approaching drones. Scientists in remote laboratories released experimental EMP bursts that disabled enemy systems temporarily. Every human was a part of the fight, proving that resistance was not limited to those in the military. Even as alien reinforcements arrived, the humans were ready. Marcus Lynn ordered a coordinated strike on the lead warship, the command vessel of the fleet. Using a combination of stealth maneuvers and synchronized energy attacks, they disabled the ship's engines and broke through its shields. In a flash of light and fire, the Council flagship was destroyed, sending shockwaves through the enemy ranks. Panic spread among the alien fleet. Ships began retreating, unsure of how to respond to a species that fought with intelligence, creativity, and relentless courage. Orders were ignored, and AI-controlled vessels froze, unable to react to the human unpredictability. On Earth, news of the victory spread quickly through secure channels. People cheered quietly in homes, schools, and workplaces. Humanity had faced the impossible and won its first major battle. The sense of unity and purpose was overwhelming. Humans no longer saw themselves as weak or expendable. They were strong, capable, and willing to fight for their planet. In New York, Marcus Lynn addressed his team through a secure feed. "This is only the beginning. The Council underestimated us, and they will pay for their arrogance. Remember, the fight ahead will be long, and we must remain unpredictable. We must remain human. They may have numbers, but we have heart, creativity, and determination, and that is something no one in the galaxy can defeat." Dr. Rao continued to refine strategies, knowing that the Council would not give up easily. "We've proven our strength," she said, "but now we must prepare for the inevitable counterattack. They will regroup and they will come back stronger. But we will be ready." As night fell on Earth, the human fleet regrouped, their ships gliding silently through space. Wounded but victorious, they carried a clear message to the galaxy. Humanity was no longer a passive species. Every city, every laboratory, every human on the planet was part of a force that could not be ignored. Above Earth, the stars seemed to shine brighter that night. A new chapter had begun. Humans, underestimated for centuries, had launched their first true strike against a powerful alien fleet. They had fought not just with weapons, but with intelligence, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit. The Council would not forget this day. The galaxy would not forget it. And humans themselves would never forget the moment they realized the truth. Together they were unstoppable. And yet, even in victory, Marcus Lin and Dr. Rao knew that the true challenge had only begun. The Council would return stronger, more determined. But humanity had set a precedent. Earth would fight, and Earth would win. The first strike had been a declaration. Humanity had shown the universe that it would no longer be controlled, no longer be oppressed, no longer be underestimated. The war was coming, unfiltered and unstoppable, and for the first time in history, humans faced the future not with fear but with confidence, courage, and a burning desire to defend their home. Earth had fought back, and the galaxy would feel its fury. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. News of Earth's unexpected victory against the Council fleet spread faster than light through hidden networks and interstellar broadcasts. Some alien civilizations who had quietly watched humans suffer for centuries whispered among themselves. "They are not weak," one counselor of the Erythian Empire said. "They are unlike any species we have encountered." Others, loyal to the Galactic Council, were shocked and fearful. They had underestimated humanity for generations, assuming that humans were too small, too disorganized, and too emotional to pose any real threat. Now their arrogance had backfired. Entire fleets were retreating in confusion. Strategic positions had been destroyed by humans who were not supposed to have the ability to fight so effectively. On Earth, the celebration was tempered by urgency. Humanity had won the first strike, but they knew it was only the beginning. Captain Marcus Lin stood on the command deck of the Freedom's Edge, looking at the holographic map of the solar system. "They will regroup," he said to his officers. "And when they do, they will bring more ships, more firepower, and more of their arrogance. We must be ready." Dr. Amina Rao had already anticipated this. "We need alliances," she said. "There are alien civilizations that secretly oppose the Council. They may help us if we reach out." Using encrypted signals and carefully coded messages, she began contacting sympathetic species. Some responded cautiously, curious about Earth's sudden strength. Others were skeptical, fearing that humanity might be reckless. But Earth had proven that it was not reckless. It was unpredictable, clever, and resilient. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council convened an emergency. Representatives from dozens of member species gathered in their massive floating citadel, a fortress of steel and energy orbiting a distant star. Tension filled the chamber. "This is unacceptable," the High Commander said, his voice echoing across the hall. "One planet has dared to fight back, and it has humiliated our fleets. How can this happen? How can humans who are supposed to be weak defeat our forces?" The counselors argued, blaming one another. Some suggested diplomacy, others demanded immediate annihilation, but no one could deny the truth. Humanity had become a force the galaxy could no longer ignore. Back on Earth, humans prepared for the next phase of the war. While fleets rebuilt and engineers refined technology, civilians continued their vital work. Communications networks were strengthened, orbital defense systems upgraded, and hidden stockpiles of weapons and energy reserves were secured. Every city, every colony, every individual contributed to the effort. Humans had learned that war was not only fought in space but on the ground, in minds and in hearts. Lieutenant Sarah O'Neill piloted her stealth ship toward the outer edges of the solar system. Her mission was to intercept intelligence transmissions from nearby alien systems, seeking information about potential threats. As she maneuvered through asteroid fields and hidden orbits, she realized just how far the Council's underestimation of humanity had reached. Every alien system she scanned revealed fear, confusion, or secret admiration for humans' ingenuity. In orbit above Jupiter, Dr. Rao activated a new experimental system, the Quantum Disruptor. Designed to interfere with alien AI and communications, it allowed human forces to strike faster than the enemy could respond. The device hummed with energy, glowing softly as it prepared to deploy. When activated, several alien fleets suddenly experienced chaos. Ships misfired, automated defenses collapsed, and command structures faltered. "Perfect timing," Dr. Rao said, her eyes shining with determination. "Let's see how they handle this." Captain Lin led a coordinated assault on several retreating alien fleets, using the confusion caused by the quantum disruptor. Humans struck swiftly, targeting supply lines, energy cores, and command nodes. Each strike was precise, strategic, and devastating. By the end of the day, The human forces had expanded their control over nearby space, securing key positions that the Council had assumed would remain untouched. But humans were not only winning battles, they were sending a message. Every ship destroyed, every supply line severed, and every victory communicated one undeniable truth. Humanity was no longer a passive species. The galaxy had assumed humans were weak. Now fear and respect began to replace underestimation. In secret, some alien species began contacting Earth for alliances. The Virulans, a species of intelligent, long-lived beings, reached out with cautious proposals. "We have watched your strength," their message said. "We are willing to provide assistance, but only if you promise to uphold the principles of freedom and unity. We have seen how the Council treats its subjects. Your victory inspires hope." Dr. Rao and Captain Lin discussed the proposal carefully. "We cannot trust everyone blindly," Marcus said, frowning. "But these alliances could give us the edge we need. We must act carefully." Meanwhile, the Council's internal politics grew chaotic. Some factions wanted to crush Earth immediately, but their fleets were scattered, disorganized, and reluctant. Other factions secretly admired humans' resourcefulness, considering that perhaps Earth could be used as a model for reform within the Council. Debate raged, but no unified action could be agreed upon. On Earth, civilians continued to play a vital role. Engineers in remote laboratories tested new energy shields. Farmers on secret farms harvested materials for orbital weapons, and students in hidden schools learned strategies for both war and survival. Humanity had become a species united not just by necessity but by purpose. Every individual, no matter their age or occupation, contributed to the survival and growth of the human race. One young pilot, 12-year-old Aiden Morales, navigated a small reconnaissance ship, carefully observing enemy movements. "I can't believe we're doing this," he said to his instructor. "We're actually fighting back." His instructor smiled. "Yes, Aiden, and remember this. It is not just our technology that makes us strong. It is our minds, our hearts, and our courage. That is what sets humans apart." By the time night fell on Earth, the human fleet had achieved remarkable success. The Council fleets were scattered, many retreating to distant sectors to regroup. Humanity had proven its strength, inspired alien allies, and sent a clear warning to the galaxy. Underestimate Earth at your own peril. Yet even in victory, Captain Lin and Dr. Rao knew the war was far from over. The Council would return, more powerful and determined than before. Humanity had gained momentum, but it was only the first step in a war that could span the stars. Dr. Rao stood on the observation deck of the Freedom's Edge, staring at the stars. "We've changed the balance of power," she said quietly. "But we have to be ready for what comes next. They will not forget us, and we cannot afford to forget what we have learned." Marcus Lin placed a hand on her shoulder. "Humans have always survived. We are resourceful, relentless, and courageous. Whatever they send, we will meet it head-on. And if the galaxy does not respect us, we will make them." The stars above Earth twinkled, silent witnesses to humanity's awakening. For the first time, the planet was no longer a passive participant in the galaxy's affairs. Humans had shown creativity, courage, and unity that no alien species had anticipated. The shockwave of their first victories rippled across star systems, inspiring some, terrifying others, and leaving the Council scrambling to respond. As Earth slept under the quiet night sky, humans everywhere knew one truth. The galaxy had changed forever. They had faced the impossible and emerged stronger. Allies were forming, enemies were shaken, and humanity had proven that it was not to be underestimated. The first wave of the war was over, but the greater struggle lay ahead. And humanity, united and unstoppable, would face it together. The galaxy would never forget the day Earth fought back and won, and humanity had only begun to show what it was truly capable of. The calm after the first victories was short-lived. From distant sectors of the galaxy, the Galactic Council had gathered its mightiest fleets, ships the size of cities bristling with energy weapons and AI-driven drones that moved with terrifying precision, were sent to crush humanity once and for all. They believed that Earth's resistance was merely a temporary annoyance, a spark that could easily be extinguished. But humans had learned the value of preparation, strategy, and unity. Every orbital station, city, and underground network had been fortified. Civilians, engineers, and soldiers worked together to ensure that Earth was ready for the next strike. Humanity had become more than a planet. They had become a symbol of unpredictability and resilience. Captain Marcus Lynn stood on the bridge of the Freedom's Edge, overlooking the solar system. "They think they can overwhelm us with numbers," he said, voice calm but firm. "But they underestimate humans. They do not understand how we think, how we adapt, or how far we are willing to go to defend our home. Every attack they launch will be met with our ingenuity." Dr. Amina Rao had spent days analyzing alien technology, finding weaknesses hidden in their systems. "They rely on rigid hierarchies," she explained to her team. "Every command is linear, every response predictable. We can use that against them. We don't just fight. We outthink them." The first wave of the Council's assault arrived quietly. Massive warships entered the solar system, their energy shields glowing ominously. Smaller drones moved ahead, scanning for human defenses. The Council expected panic, chaos, and surrender. Instead, they found something they had never seen before: perfect coordination, clever misdirection, and total fearlessness. Lieutenant Sarah O'Neill piloted her stealth ship through the incoming fleet. Using asteroid fields and hidden gravitational paths, she maneuvered behind enemy lines. Micro-drones she had deployed earlier infiltrated key vessels, disabling their shields and engines. "They don't see us coming," she reported with excitement. "Every move we make is invisible to their systems." On Earth, civilians activated emergency defenses. Cities became battlegrounds not with explosions but with ingenuity. Energy deflectors created zones that diverted enemy attacks, while engineers rerouted power to orbital stations that launched surprise counterstrikes. Every human, from street-level technicians to students in secret academies, contributed to the effort. The planet had become a living network of resistance. The Council launched its main strike, concentrating on the largest orbital stations. Beams of energy cut through space, lighting up the void with deadly brilliance. Human ships darted between the blasts, weaving in patterns no alien AI could predict. Using the quantum disruptors developed by Dr. Rao, humans interfered with enemy targeting systems, causing confusion and delays. The Council's massive ships found themselves vulnerable, their precision undermined by human unpredictability. Marcus Lynn coordinated with his allies, including the Virulons who had joined humanity after witnessing the first victories. Their advanced ships provided firepower, while human ingenuity directed attacks with precision. The combination proved deadly. Council warships faltered and drones were destroyed in waves. Dr. Rao activated her most daring experiment, a planet-wide network of energy cannons. Powered by fusion reactors and renewable sources, these cannons could strike enemy fleets with focused energy blasts. The timing had to be perfect, synchronized across the planet and orbit. "We have one chance," she said, eyes fixed on the glowing interface. "If we succeed, we cripple their command structure. If we fail..." She did not finish the thought, but her team understood. Failure was not an option. As the Council's fleet approached, human orbital stations opened fire in perfect sequence. Energy beams streaked through space, striking the enemy with precision. Shields flickered, engines failed, and command vessels were hit directly. The Council fleet, massive and confident just moments ago, was thrown into chaos. AI-controlled drones moved unpredictably, colliding with each other while officers struggled to maintain control. Captain Lynn led the final assault on the Council's flagship. His ship moved faster than anything the aliens had ever encountered. Using human cunning, he exploited weak points in the ship's armor and delivered a concentrated strike that disabled the vessel. Explosions rippled across its surface, sending debris into surrounding ships. Panic spread through the Council ranks. On Earth, people watched in awe as the energy beams from the planet itself reshaped the battlefield. Children cheered in hidden bunkers, knowing that their families and their home were being defended by ordinary humans who had become extraordinary. Farmers, teachers, engineers, and students all played a part, proving that in humanity, strength came from unity. The Council attempted a countermeasure, sending elite strike teams to capture key scientists and leaders. But humans anticipated this. Marcus Lynn led a squadron to intercept them, combining stealth, speed, and unpredictability. The elite teams were neutralized with minimal casualties, proving once again that humans were resourceful and courageous beyond measure. Dr. Rao monitored the battlefield, calculating every move with precision. They thought they could predict us, she said quietly. They thought they could control us. But we have turned their own strengths into weaknesses. This is the turning point. By the end of the day, the Council's fleet was in full retreat. Ships scattered across the system, damaged and confused. Humans had not only defended their planet, they had reshaped the balance of power in the galaxy. Allies who had been hesitant now moved closer, inspired by humanity's courage and ingenuity. Captain Lin addressed the human fleet via secure channel. Today we have proven that numbers do not always win. Strategy, creativity, and unity are just as powerful as any weapon. The galaxy is watching, and they will learn that humans are not to be underestimated. Dr. Rao prepared for the next phase, knowing that the Council would return stronger. We've won today, she said, but the war is not over. We must continue to innovate, continue to fight, and continue to prove that humans will never be controlled. On the surface, civilians continued to celebrate quietly. It was a victory earned not just by soldiers, but by every human who had played a part. They had faced the impossible and emerged stronger. Humanity's courage and creativity had reshaped the galaxy's perception. Earth was no longer a minor planet to be exploited. It was a force to be reckoned with. As night fell, stars above the planet seemed brighter, as if reflecting humanity's spirit. Captain Lin and Dr. Rao looked at the vast expanse of space, knowing that their fight was far from over, but confident that humanity had proven a simple truth. No alien, no empire, no council could predict or control a species capable of unity, ingenuity, and relentless courage. The turning point had arrived. Humanity had faced the Council's full strength and emerged victorious. The galaxy had been warned. Earth was no longer a world to conquer, and humanity's journey was only beginning. The Council's fleets had retreated, scattered across distant sectors, licking their wounds and struggling to rebuild. The galaxy had witnessed something it had never imagined. A small blue planet overlooked for centuries had risen to challenge the mightiest powers in the stars. Earth had won battles not just with weapons, but with ingenuity, courage, and unity. On the surface, humans were exhausted but elated. Cities bore the marks of war, skyscrapers scarred by blasts, streets littered with debris. But the spirit of the people was unbroken. Children played among the ruins, laughter echoing through alleys that had once been silent with fear. People worked side by side, repairing infrastructure, sharing resources, and helping those who had suffered during the conflict. Humanity had not only fought a war, they had strengthened their bonds as a species. Captain Marcus Lin walked through one of the orbital command stations, observing the fleets being repaired and upgraded. Every ship had learned new tactics, and new technologies were being installed that had never existed before. "We've shown the galaxy what humans can do," he said quietly to Lieutenant Sarah O'Neill. "But now, we have to show them that we are here to stay." Dr. Amina Rao joined them, her mind already working on new innovations. "The Council is not gone," she said. "They will return and stronger allies may join them. But we have a chance to create a balance, a new order where Earth is respected and humans are no longer underestimated." Some alien civilizations had already taken notice. The Virulons, impressed by Earth's ingenuity and courage, offered to join an alliance with humans, providing technology, resources, and insight into galactic politics. Other species, inspired by Earth's victories, began secret negotiations seeking friendship or protection. Even former council members began questioning their allegiance, realizing that humanity's example of unity and resourcefulness could reshape the galaxy. Marcus Lin and Dr. Rao convened a council of Earth's leaders and representatives from allied civilizations. "We do not seek to conquer," Marcus said. "We do not seek to dominate. But we will defend ourselves, our planet, and every human life, and we will be respected for it." Dr. Rao added, "We have proven that humans are capable of extraordinary things. We must use this moment not only to protect Earth, but to create a future where knowledge, courage, and cooperation are valued across the stars." In orbit, fleets were tested for new strategies. Ships practiced maneuvers that combined human unpredictability with alien technologies. Training exercises were rigorous yet exhilarating. Young pilots, inspired by recent victories, were eager to learn. Civilians were trained in emergency defense protocols, engineers developed new energy systems, and scientists expanded research into interstellar travel. Every person, regardless of age or profession, contributed to the strengthening of humanity's position in the galaxy. Even ordinary citizens felt the change. On Earth, school children studied the tactics that had defended their planet, learning lessons not only in science but in courage and teamwork. Farmers and factory workers, who had once been overlooked, now knew that their contributions could influence the outcome of battles light years away. Humanity had discovered a simple truth. Survival and victory came from unity, creativity, and belief in one another. As communication networks spread Earth's messages of courage and innovation, humans received responses from faraway worlds. Some offered knowledge in exchange for protection. Others simply expressed admiration. Humanity had become a symbol, a beacon of ingenuity and resilience that inspired hope in oppressed worlds and respect in potential enemies. Yet the future was not without challenges. The Council, humiliated but unbroken, was quietly rebuilding. Their leaders were determined to regain lost prestige and suppress any other planets that might attempt to follow Earth's example. The galaxy remained a dangerous place, filled with threats that humans could not yet predict. But now Earth had a voice and humans had power. Captain Lin reflected on the journey so far. "We have survived what no one thought possible," he said. "We have turned weakness into strength and fear into courage. The galaxy may test us again, but we are no longer the species it once overlooked. We are human, and we will continue to rise." Dr. Rao smiled, her thoughts already on future possibilities. "We have learned that our greatest weapon is not just technology," she said. "It is our ability to think, to adapt, and to unite. As long as we keep that, no force can defeat us." In a massive celebration on Earth, humans and allied aliens came together. Cultural exchanges, technological collaborations, and shared victories were celebrated. The city of New York, once a battlefield, now hosted a grand festival. Holographic projections displayed scenes from the orbital battles, and civilians cheered, proud of what their species had accomplished. Yet even in celebration, Marcus Lin and Dr. Rao knew vigilance was necessary. The galaxy had changed, but threats still existed. Earth would need to maintain its defenses, its alliances, and its spirit. Humans would need to remain creative, adaptable, and united, and they would. A young pilot, Aiden Morales, looked up at the stars, remembering the battles he had witnessed. "We did it," he said quietly. "We actually did it," his mentor nodded. "Yes, Aiden, but this is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast and there are more challenges ahead. But now humans have proven that no matter what comes, we can face it, together." Across the world, humanity had changed. Fear had been replaced with courage, despair with hope, and weakness with strength. The Council had underestimated them, but the galaxy had learned an important lesson. Humans were not to be ignored. Dr. Rao initiated research programs to share technology responsibly with allies. The goal was not domination, but cooperation, creating networks of defense and exploration that could withstand future threats. Humanity's example inspired other worlds, showing that courage, creativity, and unity could change even the harshest odds. Captain Lin watched a young team train in a newly built starship, their faces filled with determination. "They are ready," he said. "The next generation will continue what we started. Earth will continue to stand strong and humanity will continue to rise." As night fell over the planet, Earth glowed with life and resilience. Humanity had faced overwhelming odds and emerged victorious. They had reshaped the galaxy's perception, proving that even a small blue planet could stand against mighty empires, and they had done it together with courage, ingenuity, and unbreakable will. The galaxy had learned a truth that would echo for generations. Humans were exceptional, unpredictable and unstoppable when united. They had survived, they had fought, and they had triumphed. The war was far from over, but Earth had secured its place among the stars. Humans had proven that they could face any threat and emerge stronger. A new era had begun, not just for humanity, but for the galaxy itself. And as humans looked to the stars, they knew one thing for certain. The future belonged to those who dared to fight, innovate, and never give up. Earth had risen. Humanity had triumphed. The galaxy would never forget it.